Hi everyone, Dr. Nemechek here, and I want to describe why olive oil is helpful in preventing heart disease. Now in olive oil, let's talk about heart disease or coronary artery disease, cardiovascular disease, or having a heart attack. Those terms are all the same thing, all right? And we know it is a inflammatory process. You get excess inflammatory chemicals called cytokines in the bloodstream. These start damaging the cells that line your blood vessels called endothelium. As those are damaged, believe it or not, LDL is part of a repair mechanism. So the LDL cholesterol that people talk about as the bad cholesterol is actually sent there to try to repair the blood vessels. But unfortunately, the LDL molecule becomes damaged, or what we call oxidized in this, and when it goes to the blood vessel, it now makes things worse. Okay? Now, in terms of olive oil, you get online, people are talking about all sorts of stuff. They're all talking about the phenols, which are these chemicals in there. Now, it's not that the phenols aren't important, but they aren't the major thing. The major thing in the olive oil is oleic acid. This is a omega-9 fatty acid, and oleic acid will protect you from these high omega-6 vegetable oils that are highly inflammatory. That's how it works. Okay? Now, so we have studies showing with animals that are healthy, you give them excess soybean oil, for instance, and their LDL cholesterol molecules become oxidized, become damaged, and will promote more heart disease. Okay? So what happens here is they take humans in this study, they look at their LDL levels, and they can measure there's a high degree of oxidized LDL, which is a risk factor, one of the main risk factors for developing a heart attack. And they give them olive oil. They give them about, it's 25 mLs. That's a little bit less than 2 tablespoons. Okay? And they take this every day for a few weeks. Now, there were 3 groups. There were these olive oils. There are 3 types of olive oils. They all had the same amount of oleic acid, but they had different phenol amounts. Some had almost none, some were really high. Okay? People are spending a lot of money for these high phenol olive oils, and it's not necessary in this particular case. And so anyhow, what they found was that the olive oil completely reversed the damage in the LDL cholesterol molecules. So now they became harmless. It didn't lower them. You don't necessarily have to lower cholesterol levels, okay? You've got to make your cholesterol molecules not inflammatory or not oxidized. They'll refer to this as small LDL is one of the things if you get one of these fancy cholesterol panels. So adding the olive oil, irrespective of the amount of phenols, cause these damage-evoking oxidized LDL molecules to revert back to their normal harmless state. And that's just with roughly 2 tablespoons of olive oil every day. And in this study, they took it with their food. I don't think it particularly matters. I basically just pour it on my food every day in large amounts, and that's how I get it in. So if you want to reduce your risk for heart disease, one of the major, most powerful things you can do is add olive oil to your diet every day. And I'll add a lot of the olive oil that's being sold is very low quality. Some is flagrantly fraud, and I recommend everybody to get COOC olive oil. That's the California Olive Oil Council, COOC certified olive oil, and this the growers in California, if you have the seal on the back, you have to send your labs into your oil into a lab every year, and they run about 8 different tests on it to prove the quality of the oil. So that's why we want that. So you have somebody certifying that that oil you have is of a high quality, contains enough of these of the oleic acid to protect yourself. All right, 2 tablespoons a day dramatically of olive oil will dramatically lower your risk of heart disease. Everybody, have a great day. Bye.